Hey Trunks, we have talked about your battles, your sword, your drip. We've never asked you about the first time you went Super Saiyan.
Then, he died, alone, fighting the androids. I found his body in the rain. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. The pain, the rage, the loss, it all exploded. And suddenly, I was glowing. My hair changed. My power surged. I became a Super Saiyan.
You didn't just transform. You inherited his will.
Welcome back to the Saiyan Podcast. I'm your host, Goku.
And I'm Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyan.
Today's guest is the man who sliced Frieza like deli meat and made Super Saiyan look like a fashion statement. Give it up for future Trunks.
I came back to the past just for this.
Let me just say, I'm glad we got DBZ Trunks here, because DBS Trunks, that design was a downgrade.
Yo, you're not wrong. He looked like he was cosplaying as a history teacher.
They gave me blue hair, a scarf, and anxiety.
You went from I'll end this timeline to I teach Yoda classes at Capsule Corp.
Dragon Ball Super was rough. I was fighting gods with a butter knife and a denim jacket.
DBZ Trunks was a statement. Super Trunks looked like he got lost on the way to a coffee shop. But I'll give you this. When it comes to style, you're second only to Piccolo. The cape, turban, weighted drip, untouchable. But you, Trunks, leather jacket, sword, lavender Super Saiyan flow, that was peak warrior aesthetic.
You were like a time-traveling rock star with trauma.
I shower with ki and regret.
DBZ Trunks had the best Super Saiyan hair in the game. Sharp, clean, rebellious. You look like you were born to break timelines.
Meanwhile, Super Trunks looked like he was trying to return a library book mid-battle.
I blame the animators and the timeline. Mostly the timeline.
Let's talk about your entrance, Trunks. You didn't just show up and slice Frieza. You hit him with that burning attack, too. Bro, that move was wild. It looked like you were trying to sign Frieza's about to die in ASL.
It looked like something out of Naruto. That hand movement was straight up jutsu.
I call it disrespect no jutsu. I wanted him confused before he got deleted.
You spun your hands, flipped your wrist, then threw the blast. You hit him with a ki blast and a choreography lesson.
I like to keep my enemies guessing. Burning attack is part technique, part performance art.
And the way you went Super Saiyan, walked up like a boss and sliced him clean. No yelling, no speeches, just shing, and Frieza was a memory.
That was the moment I knew. That's my son. He didn't just fight. You styled on him.
I aura farmed him straight up.
You didn't just beat him, you embarrassed him. King Cold was like, who raised this boy?
I did. And speaking of pride, Trunks, hit that transformation right now, live on the podcast. Let the people see the glow.
You sure? I don't want to blow up the mics.
Do it!
Fine. Here I go!
There it is. Look at that form. Clean, sharp, rebellious. That's DBZ Trunks. That's my son. Not that scarf-wearing, coffee-sipping version.
Yo, that hair is still undefeated. You look like you just stepped out of a time machine and into a rap video.
You're the only Saiyan who can make a sword and a jacket look like tactical gear and a runway fashion.
I'm just here to remind the timeline who's boss.
You're the reason villains now check the hair before they talk trash.
But seriously, you know what really gets to me? I came back through time, risked everything to warn you guys. Androids, Cell, Goku Black, Zamasu, I laid it all out, and what did I get?
A hug?
No, I got ignored. I said, hey, bad stuff is coming, and you were like, let's train and see what happens.
We're Saiyans, that is the plan.
Dad, I literally watched my world burn. I saw cities crumble. I saw you die twice. I came back to prevent that, and you were like, let's test their power first.
I mean, they look strong.
I wasn't giving you a trailer. I was giving you the full movie, and you still bought tickets to the disaster.
You act like we didn't handle it. We beat Cell, we beat Boo.
After years of chaos, I came back to skip the suffering, and you guys treated me like a spoiler alert.
He's not wrong. We really did ignore all the warning signs.
I'm the only one who time traveled responsibly. I didn't come back to flex. I came back to fix. And y'all treated me like I was selling insurance. And let's not forget, we lost to Zamasu and Goku Black. My entire universe was destroyed, gone, erased. I didn't just fail to stop them, I lost everything.
That wasn't your fault.
I know. but it still happened. We threw everything at them. Super Saiyan Rage, Fusion, Divine Help, and I still wasn't enough. For the first time, no matter how hard we tried, we couldn't win.
Yeah, that was different. We always find a way, but that time it felt like the rules didn't apply.
We weren't just fighting villains. We were fighting concepts, immortality, corruption, divine arrogance. Zamasu wasn't trying to win. He was trying to erase existence.
And we couldn't punch that away.
It was the first time our strength wasn't enough. That's terrifying.
I came back to stop it before it started. I gave you the blueprint, and still, we ended up watching my timeline burn again.
You were right. We didn't listen, and we paid the price.
You're not just a warrior, Trunks. You're a survivor. And a reminder that sometimes, even Saiyans need to think before they swing.
Thanks, Dad. Just, next time I show up with a warning, maybe don't treat it like a side quest.
That sounds like a deal. But you still get a hug.
Fine, but only if you remember Pan's name this time.
Yo, wait. I just had a crazy thought. Trunks, what if you fused with the other Trunks? The one from the universe you went to?
You mean the Trunks who grew up in peace? The one who probably plays piano and doesn't have PTSD?
Yeah, that guy. He's probably soft, but emotionally stable.
So basically, you'd fuse trauma with tranquility. That fusion would be insane. You've got Super Saiyan Rage, Sword Mastery, time travel experience, and he's got clean energy, no baggage, and probably better sleep hygiene.
You'd be the most balanced warrior in existence. Power and peace, sword and strategy, lavender hair and emotional regulation.
I call it Trunks Prime or Chrono Trunks. Something that sounds like I break timelines and hearts.
You'd be stronger than me and Vegeta combined. Ultra Instinct? Ultra Ego? Nah, you'll have Ultra Perspective.
You'd be the only fighter who could slice through dimensions and still remember Pan's birthday.
I'd have the power of a warrior who lost everything, and the clarity of one who never had to.
That fusion would be intense. You probably unlock a new form like Temporal Ascension or Super Saiyan Legacy.
But what if you trained him first? Like, taught him how to unlock that Super Saiyan Rage form that you used against Zamasu?
That's exactly what I'd do. He's got potential. He just hasn't been pushed. I would take him through the same emotional gauntlet I went through. Rage, loss, purpose.
So you'd basically give him trauma with a training montage.
Exactly. Control trauma, Saiyan style. He would unlock Rage, and then we'd fuse with Patara earrings when needed. And I would also make sure he never wears a scarf again.
I'd be proud.
Hey, Trunks, we have talked about your battles, your sword, your drip. We've never asked you about the first time you went Super Saiyan. What triggered it?
It was Gohan, his death.
Gohan.
Yeah, in my timeline he was everything. My mentor, my best friend, my last hope. He trained me when the world was falling apart. Androids were everywhere. Cities were gone. People lived in fear. But Gohan never gave up.
He was strong. Even as a kid, he had that spark.
He carried that weight of the world on his shoulders. One arm, no backup, just grit. And he still smiled, still believed in me. He said I'd be a one to change everything.
And then?
Then, he died. Alone, fighting the androids. I found his body in the rain. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. I just broke.
That's when it happened?
Yeah, I screamed, I cried, and something inside me snapped. The pain, the rage, the loss, it all exploded. And suddenly, I was glowing. My hair changed. My power surged. I became a Super Saiyan.
You didn't just transform. You inherited his will.
Exactly. That form wasn't about pride or glory. It was grief. It was love. It was everything Gohan gave me, turned into power.
Future Gohan, he'd be proud of you. You honored him with every fight.
I just wish he could have seen it. Seen me become what he believed I could be.
He saw it in you. Every day.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, we just talked about your pain, your power, your timeline trauma. Let's talk about the moment you went back and gave the androids the smoke, the sweet revenge.
Yes. The moment you stopped surviving and started dominating.
It was overdue. I went back to my timeline after the Cell Games, stronger than ever. No fear, no hesitation, just purpose.
You were glowing with vengeance.
I found Android 17 and 18 terrorizing Parsley City. Same routine, destruction, mockery, chaos. And then I saw it, an old man standing his ground with a blicky. Straight up, he was about to get eliminated. 17 had to pistol out, ready to end him.
Yo, not Grandpa Glock.
I showed up just in time, Super Saiyan aura blazing. Then I punched Android's 18's fine ass across all 12 universes.
Then you hit her with 5 fingers to the face like my Big Bang attack.
She didn't even get a chance to monologue. Just boom, instant karma.
And 17?
He felt fear, real fear, the kind that makes your processors glitch. I stared him down, raised my hand, and hit him with a ki blast like I was sending a message to every villain in the multiverse.
You didn't just win, you corrected history.
You made the androids wish they had a reboot button.
I made sure they felt every ounce of pain they caused. Not out of hate, but for justice, for Gohan, for you guys, for every life they ruined.
Wow, Trunks, you gave your world a second chance.
And I do it again, every time.
Yo, has anyone ever told you that you kinda look like Broly?
Wait, what?
Kakarot, don't start.
No, seriously, the hair, the intensity, the way you scream like the universe owes you money, it's giving Broly vibes.
I have lavender hair. Broly looks like he bench presses planets and eats protein shakes made out of moons.
But the rage form, that Super Saiyan rage energy, it's giving Broly energy. But hear me out. What if Bulma, visited Vampa once?
What?
I'm just saying, she's a genius, she travels, she's curious. Maybe she ran into Broly, had a moment, and boom, Trunks.
You think I'm the result of a galactic one-night stand? This podcast is off the rails.
Bulma did not cheat on me with Broly. That brute doesn't even know how to use a toothbrush.
But the hair volume, the rage, the sword swings, it's suspicious.
I swim at the beach. Broly swims in lava.
You're my son, end of story. And if Broly ever tries to claim otherwise, I'll send him back to Vampa in pieces.
Okay. But if Trunks ever starts growling mid-fight and the shirt explodes, I'm calling Mari. You are not the father.
I'm done. I'm fusing with Gohan and leaving this podcast.